Have you ever noticed from the time you were called to the time you were sent may be a while? God is interested in conditioning you for the position He has for you. I said God is interested in conditioning you for the position He has for you. But we want to be our own. That's a C.S. Lewis line I read in a book that I thought, how true. We want ministry, but we think the call and timing should work out a certain way. Well, ladies, that's not going to happen. At some point, God is going to crucify our expectations and our desires. The Word says we were bought with a price. We are not our own. We've been crucified with Christ, and we no longer live. And if we lose our life for His sake, we gain it. I returned from a ministry venture in Kansas City for 2 years with my family. It did not turn out as we expected. I leased a house in Arlington, Texas. I was homeschooling my sons, and in the next couple of years, a number of circumstances took place that landed us in the back 2 bedrooms of my widowed mother-in-law's house. My landlord had been transferred to Chicago and had to sell the home. My husband's salary had been cut in 2. And we were looking for a home of our own to enter the boys into high school in the fall. Well, we went over to Alan's mom's for the summer just to look for a home, put our stuff in storage. It had only been a couple of weeks, and Ida had a number of injuries and surgeries. She broke her neck, she had to have a hip replacement, and a number of other complications. Overnight, she needed our support, and I became her chief caretaker. Ladies, this is not what I expected. In the next few days, I went to see a girlfriend who had some insight. She said, "You're not being disciplined, you've not done anything wrong, you're being pruned in order to be more fruitful, in order for more of God's power to flow through you. But you will leave self behind, and you're being conditioned for the position God has for you." Well, I went home, and I was relieved that I seemed to be on the right track, but I didn't know how long this would be. I didn't know if my dream would be crushed forever. I began to study the story of Joseph. Joseph had a gift of active waiting. He was a leader, an administrator. He interpreted dreams even when he was confined in prison. He kept a pure heart and forgave his brothers despite their betrayal of him. I took this model, and despite my circumstances, I went to my church and I offered to become a prayer team and a healing team leader on Monday nights. God showed me that my time would not be wasted. He knew that my pain would be somebody else's gain. He was conditioning them for the position He had for them. He gave me the prayers and the comfort for these ladies. I even told them the story of Joseph, and they were very comforted. But I was learning a lot about myself these days on the home front. I was impatient, and I was ready for people to change and grow fast. Well, the Lord was showing me I needed to change and grow fast. I needed these people to grind patience in me, to refine me, to love people right where they are, not where I expected them to be. As a result, 5 years later, I'm jogging in Chisholm Park, and I'm going, Lord, what can I do just to be released from this situation? I need my life back. I need my privacy. It's nothing against Ida. I need some space. I can't go on. And right then, I saw a cap in my trail. I picked it up, and the cap said, "Die faster." I guess that was God's answer. So in the next few weeks, I got to go visit a mentor, an older friend of mine who had a lake house. I was venting the same thing for her. She handed me a white dishcloth, and she said, "Surrender, surrender, and tell the Lord, if I never leave my mother-in-law's house, I will still serve you." Ladies, that was a hard one to swallow. I'm not sure about that. But I did end up making that declaration, and something lifted from my spirit. I went home, and my mother-in-law had a dream. She said a girl who she really cared for would be moving, that she had graduated from the School of Higher Learning and she had passed all her tests. Well, yes, ladies, we were able to move her to a nice place, and we moved separately. But my challenge for you is this: if you find yourself in a confined place, in a restrained area, in a wilderness, don't give up hope. Trust. This is your school of learning. God knows your beginning from your end. He knows exactly what needs to be worked into you to gain the wisdom you need for your calling. He is forming Christ in you, your hope of glory. He's going to integrate everything you've been through for another, and He is conditioning you for the position He has for you.